Let's go into the Coliseum.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to present another Olympic moment.
Secretary's watch as more than 4,000 athletes from the nations of the world pass in review. Metcalf is in lane 6, closest to the camera. Jesse Owens is in lane 1 at the top. Owens gets a good start. Metcalf does not. At 50 meters, Owens leads, but Metcalf is cutting down the distance. Jesse Owens first. Ralph Metcalf second. Martin Osendorf Holland third.
I'm very glad to have won the 100 meters in the Olympic Games here in Berlin. A very beautiful place, a very beautiful setting. The competition was grand, and we're very glad to come out on top. Thank you very kindly.
That's 6 on the inside and 4 on the outside. Our which will be held tomorrow. The names of the competitors in the first trial heat, first round 2 heat, are shown on the scoreboard.
Don't bump me, honey.
Set it down.
Don't wave the flag.
results of Heat 1 are now shown on the scoreboard.
There she goes. Can you wait a second?
The results of Heat 2 are now shown on the scoreboard.
How you doing?
Pretty stupid.
Are you hot? Are you having fun yet?
She's close to mine, her long pants and her sweaters.
Au tableau électronique, vous avez la liste des athlètes qualifiés pour les demi-finales du 100 mètres femmes.
The 6 pound. The only thing that got him excited is when people stood up and cheered. He was climbing up to everything, all they know is in the cheer. He was so,
There will be 2 semifinals. The first 4 in each qualify for the final.
La première demi-finale.
Mostly little kids.
On the scoreboard, the competitors in the first semifinal.
July 5th, kid.
in the heptathlon javelin. Group 1 is now on the scoreboard. Warm-up throws in order.
See, he's looking, he's got his head leaning down. His head's coming forward.
The competitors in the second semifinal are now listed on the scoreboard. In lane 5,
He's not even going for the record yet. Watch him take on. Slow start.
Adriana. Don't bump me, I said.
of the men's 100 meters, now shown on the scoreboard.
Résultat de la première demi-finale au tableau d'affichage. Dieu, 100 mètres au tableau d'affichage.
Eric McCullough, Great Britain. Al Joyner, 17 meters 89, 58, 8.5.
Pour le triple saut, sur le côté de la zone de chute, figure avec le symbole olympique des 5. tableau électronique, vous avez la situation du triple saut après les 6 premiers concurrents.
There will be 2 semi-final heats. First 4 in each qualify for the final, which will be held tomorrow. The competitors in the first semi-final.
La situation du concours du triple saut après le premier essai.
Results of the first semi-final are now shown on the scoreboard.
Vous avez les résultats de la deuxième demi-finale du 400 mètres N, messieurs.
400-meter hurdlers are shown in the order of their performance. These are not lane assignments for the final.
Au tableau.
Sure looked like he fouled.
2 rounds are now shown on the scoreboard.
Can get a medal.
100 meters. These are the competitors. And they are in lanes as follows. Michael McFarlane, Great Britain. Tony Sharp, Canada. Ben Johnson, Canada. Sam Dreddy, USA. Jonathan Reed, Great Britain. World champion, Carl Lewis, USA.
good start, he'd be incredible.
Now on the scoreboard. Ladies and gentlemen, we now direct your attention to the start of the heptathlon 800 meters. We have 3 heats. Here are introductions. 6 events. In lane 2, she is 15, Jill Ross Giffen. At 400 meters, the leader of heptathlon 800 meter heat B is Jill Ross Giffen of Canada Intermediate Time on the scoreboard. The standings of the triple jump in the 4th round, now shown on the scoreboard. We direct your attention to scoreboard A, where we have cumulative scores in the heptathlon at the conclusion of 6 events, with only the final heat of the 800 meters remaining. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, we'll inform you that the IAAF scoring tables award 12 to 14 points for each 1-second differential in the heptathlon's last event, the 800 meters, and the cumulative scores.
Au tableau électronique.
7, Kim Hager of Great Britain. In lane 2, she is the leader, Jackie Joyner, USA. In lane 3, she is 6th, Sabine Braun, Federal Republic of Germany. In lane 4, she is 4th, Judy Simpson, Great Britain. In lane 5, she is 3rd, Sabine Ebert.
Cérémonie de remise des médailles pour le 100 mètres homme.
Medals will be presented by the Lord Luke, member of the International Olympic Committee, accompanied by Adrian Paulin, Honorary Vice President of the International Amateur Athletic Federation. States of America, Olympic champion Carl Lewis. recording of the national anthem of the United States of America.
Mesdames, Messieurs, veuillez vous lever pour l'hymne national des États-Unis d'Amérique.
A real tough time in his trial. He was struggling at the end of the 200-meter race, those last 20 yards, but when you're 33, you expect to have to struggle sometime. I'm sort of sentimentally also pulling for Desai Williams in lane 3. He's the guy that was edged out by Ron Brown, and if you looked at the tape, I mean the picture, he could have easily been placed in the final of the 100-meter.
Lewis in 6. Both Baptiste and Jefferson, the other Americans, qualified in their semifinal. All eyes on Lewis at the start of the race, and it's a very good start for Carl. An excellent start for Lewis, and also for Desai Williams of Canada in lane 3. And as they come around the turn, it's Lewis out in front. Little doubt, it's Williams in lane 3. Silva looking good in lane 4. On the outside now, Maffei moving up. It's Lewis winning it very easily, and in lane 4, it's Silva winding up second, very close for third. Maffei appeared to be there as well. The time is 20.28 for Carl Lewis. And so all 3 Americans go in to the final coming up in a couple of hours. Another look at Lewis.
Well, let's take a look at this. Carl got an excellent start for Carl. You know, he's not one of the greatest starters in track and field, and he really got a good start coming out of the blocks. And Carl has become an excellent curve runner. As we stated before, as you can imagine, they flatten out this track here at the Coliseum, so it makes it a little easier on the runners on the curve, but you want to get on the inside of that lane as close as you can. You have to get that body lean to your left there, and he does an excellent job. He just about makes up the stagger on Tilly, who was outside of him, that he's coming up on now, and the guy was, you normally shouldn't make up the stagger until you hit the straightaway if they were running equal. So you can imagine how much time he picked up on him in the first 80 meters. Once again, I think Carl was serious here. He wanted to run a sub 20 seconds. Running into this headwind of 2.8 miles an hour, he should be happy. I think that time could possibly, running into this headwind, win the finals. But for Carl Lewis, I think he'd like to get a world record, and I know if this wind dies down, he's going to be certainly near one in the finals tonight.
So Carl Lewis among those qualifying, and there they are. Those men will be running in the final right now. Let's go to Jim McCain. His 4th would come if he wins this in the 4x100 relay to take place Friday and Saturday is the final in that. And then in lane 8 outside of him is João Silva of Brazil, whose best time is 20.51.
Well, Al, let's make no mistake about it. We're looking at 2 different races. We're looking at Carl Lewis versus the clock, and the rest of the field trying to get the silver medal. Most of the other runners, including Kurt Baptiste and Mania, has pretty much conceded the goal to Carl Lewis. Even though I think Mania has been sandbagging a little bit in his trial races, he hasn't gone all out yet. I think he's trying to lull possibly Kurt Baptiste into a false sense of security, and he may try to sneak up there and get the silver. And being the defending champ, who knows? He may have in the back of his mind that he may also be able to catch Carl. Incidentally, as Al mentioned, this is his 4th consecutive final, and that is an Olympic record. There's no other runner, sprinter or long distance guy who's ever made it to 4 consecutive finals. So that's Minea.
Tremendous accomplishment for him. All eyes on that man in 7. The others to watch: Baptiste, Jefferson, and Minea in 3, 4, and 5.
Set.
Fair start and a great start for Carl Lewis. Also a very good start for Kurt Baptiste, and Jefferson is in the picture as well. It is Carl Lewis out in front, running for his 3rd. It is Lewis. It is Silva on the outside. It's Baptiste now moving up, and the United States may sweep. Lewis wins the gold, and it's a 1-2-3 American sweep for the 200 meters.
And now that's something that everyone expected to make, possibly in the 100 meter and the 200 meter, and it's finally happened here. Thomas Jefferson, who held on in every Olympic trials, he kept getting 2nd and 3rd. He held on here, and he got the bronze medal.
There he is. There they are. Gold, silver, and bronze. Lewis, Baptiste, and Jefferson in that order. 1, 2, 3. They'll stop to watch the replay. Unofficial clocking 19.81 for Carl Lewis.
Well, he has an Olympic record. It's not a world record, but I think everyone who follows track realized if he was in Mexico City at some high altitude, a place running this particular race, it would have been a world record. As you can see, coming off the turn, coming down the straightaway, Carl Lewis had the race well in hand. The only question here is, can Minea catch Thomas Jefferson? Of course, we expected Kurt Baptiste to be there, and there he is in lane 3. He's comfortably in 2nd place. He has that silver medal wrapped up here, and it's all a matter if Thomas Jefferson can hold on and just hold on to that 3rd and that bronze, which he's able to do.
He edges out Yao Silva of Brazil, the time 19.81 into a headwind of 0.9 meters per second as the crowd responds to the replay. They respond to the American sweep. So many eyes were on Lewis. I think a good many people in the Coliseum probably missed out on the fact that the U.S. wound up 1, 2, 3, and that was the reason for that roar as they saw the freeze frame up on the board of the finish. But when you think about it, world record 19.72 set by Minea in Mexico City at an altitude of 7,500 feet. This one at sea level and into a wind. And Carl Lewis, with an American flag in his hand, has picked up his 3rd gold medal. Isolated now on Lewis as we watch him run the curve.
Well, much like he did in the semifinal heat, he got an excellent start. He just about made up the stagger on Mahon right almost halfway around the turn here. As you'll see right in front of him, he's making up the stagger on the man in the outside lane right away. He's running smooth. I thought he ran a little tight maybe coming off the curve in the semifinals, but he's not tight here at all. Beautiful man to watch run. Once again, you know, everyone says Carl doesn't have a world record, but all of these marks that he's had here, if he was in Mexico City, they would be right on world record marks.
Exactly. He has the 2nd and 3rd fastest 200s ever now, and the official time is 100th of a second slower. 19.80 is the way it goes into the books, and Baptiste ran a 19.96, so only Minea, Lewis, and Baptiste have now run under 20 seconds at sea level. Jefferson finishing 3rd in 20.26. So there they are, Lewis, Baptiste, and Jefferson.
Of course, we're going to see Carl again on the relay. You heard Al mention he's only been beaten by Calvin Smith. Calvin is also the world record holder in the 100 meter, and Cal is going to be joining Carl Lewis anyway on the 400 relay team this weekend. Let's take another look at his start. That good body lane, but once again, Carl has a tendency to come up a little too high in the 100 meters, at least all week long. He came up too high too quick. He came up pretty high right here, but once again, he's running a curve, so you're more concerned about your balance than you are about your height coming around there.
So he's done it in the 100. He's done it in the long jump, and he has now done it in the 200. 3 down, 1 to go, and we'll return with more of our coverage after this from your local stations.
money in my
Well, I
change
really
tray.
You're not even finished with 84 and you're already
Recording
playing
audio
with
too.
88 games. Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't have to pay $5 for parking. You get a hot one. You love it?
Car, your health, your business, and your life. You're in good hands with Allstate. Budweiser, the king of beers, and proud sponsor of the U.S.
Little ad lib at the top is full of work now.
25 to studio.
This Bud's for you. General Electric.
Go back to Howard, right? Heavyweights, Henry Tillman and the hard-hitting Willie DeWitt of Canada will be getting it on very shortly. We're going to go back and pick up Mark Breland as he collects his long-awaited gold medal in just a few moments. We want to remind you, we told you there is life after the Olympics from ABC Sports, and coming up, live third-round coverage beginning next Saturday, August the 18th at 4:30. That's just about a half hour from now, a week from now. Then Sunday live, fourth-round coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern Time. We'll have players including British Open winners C.B. Ballesteros, U.S. Open champion Buzzy Zeller, and former PGA winners Jack Nicklaus, Ray Floyd, Lee Trevino, and all of the greats of the game of golf. That is live coverage of the PGA beginning next Saturday, right here on ABC. Okay, we're going to go back out to the boxing arena. Of course, that means Howard Cosell, and we'll watch Mark Breland collect his gold.
Collecting all these little square boxes. All kinds of different things. Winners running, banners, shields, ADC. Where should we put them at? So we should get a single frame? Yeah, a little box. Let's start going in.
August 11th, another glorious afternoon of sunshine on the next to last day of the Games of Los Angeles. Another crystal clear sky for a backdrop as the games roll toward their climax.
At the boxing venue at this juncture, 4 Americans have won gold medals. fairly consistent diet. I'm Bob Yeti at the Long Beach Arena, where just a short while ago, Italy defeated Canada.
Won a gold medal. Mark Schultz's brother Dave also has won a gold. Modern rhythmic gymnastics in the Olympics for the first time. The leader, Galina Stychilescu. Have you been eating it during this week?
No.
Decided to drop that?
Yeah, one day I was here and then one other time. I can't live with that.
What did you eat this morning?
I didn't eat that. Yeah, I had a few.
Is that usual? You not eat breakfast? Last attempt, right?
Martin?
I think so.
Last attempt? Last attempt?
For her there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We're going to tape the interview, Carl, so you can get out of here. More important, he completed the writing of his own legend. That, of course, would be Carl Lewis. Carl, congratulations to you. A tremendous job. Tell us a little bit about what it felt like before the race, during the race. Were you tense while the other guys were running the baton pass, and what it felt like coming down the stretch?
Well, with the talent that we have, it's very, very easy to set a world record. So that was one of our objectives, and of course we wanted to win the race. But you have to worry about these baton exchanges since we don't get very much time to practice. We really worked hard on it, concentrated hard, and just prayed hard beforehand.
So last night when you were going to sleep, were you thinking about the baton pass maybe, and the American history of passing out of the lane or dropping the baton?
Well, all night long, and I think all week long, we've been encouraging each other. And every single night, I think I've been going to bed thinking about that possibility. But the thing that kept us together was just our encouragement, and we kept telling each other, just pass it safe until the front.
What's your attitude toward this second Jesse Owens business?
Well,
first Carl Lewis?
My attitude basically is first Carl Lewis, and because I look at Jesse Owens to me as like a legend, and I can't ever imagine being equal to him. I just think that he's somebody that will always be someone to look up to in my book, and I'm just happy it stays that way.
Carl Lewis, he's done it. Okay, terrific. Great. Yeah. You want to go ahead and control and watch whatever you want? They got to take your mic up here. Okay. I'm sure you'll sleep well tonight.
Cheers. Cheers to you. I'll take them off.
Monday.
The games of the 23rd Olympiad. Brought to you by Permaflex, the newest 30-day lens from the makers of Permalens. And Arco, Atlantic Richfield Company, proud sponsors of the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics.
This is a live shot from a helicopter high over the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, where in just a matter of moments now we'll be getting the closing ceremonies underway. It is a beautiful night in Los Angeles. The anticipation of the closing ceremonies, of course, very high. David Wolper put on a tremendous production for the opening ceremonies and has promised even more this evening. We'd like to remind you that 10 o'clock tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, we'll be bringing you highlights of these games, and there have been so many over the past couple of weeks. And once again, we are about ready to get the closing ceremonies underway. Let's go now to Jim McKay. He's at the Coliseum with Peter Jennings.
Yes, there he is, Carlos Lopes of Portugal at age 37, the gold medalist in the Olympic marathon, running in only the third marathon of his life. It will be a big night in his hometown in Portugal. Peter, you've been through there.
Well, indeed, Jimmy. In fact, I was just looking the temperature guides up. He comes from that part of Portugal, which is very cold in the north at this time of the year. He certainly had no trouble with this temperature in Los Angeles.
It's the first gold medal of these games for Portugal.
Winner of the silver medal, representing Ireland, Olympic champion John Tracy.
And that is the first medal of any kind for Ireland in these games. John Tracy from Waterford County, where the crystal comes from. Juan Antonio Samaran, the president of the IOC, giving him his silver medal. That's Primo Nebbiolo, the president of the International Athletic Amateur Federation, giving him the flowers. John Tracy, with a fine Irish face there.
Médaille de bronze, représentant la Grande-Bretagne.
The winner of the bronze medal, representing Great Britain, Charles Spedding.
Charles Spedding, 32 years old. He's won the last two marathons he was in, Houston and London. Now the bronze medal, Ireland and England.
There's
Peter?
something very moving about this on this stage, Jim. We talked at the opening ceremonies about how athletics bring people together. There is terrible violence today in Northern Ireland involving in cases of the British troops and the Northern Ireland population. And here are the Brit and the Irishman together on the stand. That says a lot about international sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the
That's the kind of spirit we've had all the way through these
of
games.
Portugal.
Mesdames, Messieurs, veuillez vous lever pour l'exécution de l'hymne national du Portugal.
Anthem of Portugal. Carlos Lopes, who won a silver medal in the 10,000 meters 8 years ago in Montreal. By the way, the three-tiered stand they stand on, you think of that as something ancient, but it isn't. It was introduced right here 52 years ago. Following what you were saying, Peter, Great Britain and Ireland have actually been living side by side in the village.
Yes. It is an absolutely beautiful evening in Los Angeles. All that heat that was so prevalent during the beginning of the marathon has now disappeared, and there's enough softness that has settled on the stadium.
The Department of the Interior has recommended that this Coliseum become a National Historical Landmark. Seems only fair, the only stadium in which 2 Olympics have been held. Started construction in 1923, but it was used in 1932 for the game.
Take a look at John Tracy, Jim. There's a young man who shows us he's run 26 miles and all those yards.
Yes, he does. The applause hasn't stopped for those 3 athletes, none of them American.
That's Juan Antonio Samaran you see in the middle of the crowd now talking to them.
It won't be too long until the flag will be lowered and the flame will be extinguished. But much more comes before that. Faster, higher, stronger, the motto of the Olympics. Above the Olympic rings, the 2 huge message boards, which have worked very well during these games to give the people another view.
This is a little different, isn't it, Jim, from past Olympics? And past Olympics, I obviously mentioned that the marathon is finished here for the first time, but in previous Olympics, you always had the equestrian events. We're going to see the medal presentation of the equestrian events in just a minute.
Yes,
and I gather it was because David Wolper, the producer of the opening and closing ceremonies, didn't want his field torn up.
That's what I heard. So they had the equestrian today in a wonderful place, Santa Anita Park, where all of the equestrian events have been held, except, of course, the cross-country race, which is down in Rancho Santa Fe. But they had it today, and the result was very favorable for the United States. They won the gold and silver medal. Joe Fargas won the gold. Conrad Homfeld won the silver. Heidi Robiani of Switzerland won the bronze, but it was a tremendous contest with the 2 Americans, if you didn't see that earlier today, having to go to a jump-off to decide the gold and silver between them. I will say, Peter, that John Williams' fanfare has not grown old during these games, many times as we've heard it.
The victory ceremonies for the equestrians' individual jumping competition will now commence.
Mesdames, Messieurs, nous allons assister maintenant à la cérémonie de remise des médailles au sport équestre, saut d'obstacles individuel.
And here they come, horses and riders. A lovely sight. The crowd just beginning to realize that.
Swiss flag you see down there in the left-hand corner of your screen for the bronze medal winner. This crowd this evening has got up on its feet at every opportunity.
They'll have a few more opportunities.
We will also get an opportunity to see now, not for the first time during these games, but His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh.
Joe Fargas, the gold medalist from Petersburg, Virginia, his horse Touch of Class. Joe, 36 years old, silver medalist. Conrad Homfeld and Heidi Robiani of Switzerland. The horses do not get medals.
They get rosettes, if I recall, don't they?
That's right. The 229th and final medal ceremony of these games. What a panoply of athletics we've seen here.
Another example, I think, Jim, isn't it? The equestrians of how far the Olympics can go in making a sport popular in a country where it is not wildly popular. Certainly show jumping is well known here, but in Western Europe and Britain, you see televised show jumping almost every week.
Will be presented by the Honorary Life President of the International Olympic Committee, the Lord Callanan, accompanied by Fritz O. Wittmer, Secretary General of the International Equestrian Federation.
Les médailles seront présentées par Lord Callanan, président honoraire à vie du Comité international olympique, accompagné de Fritz O. Wittmer, secrétaire général de la Fédération équestre internationale.
Lord Callanan, the former president of the IOC, who is here this evening to present the equestrian medals.
He had a fascinating career, you know, as a journalist, and he produced one of my favorite movies, The Quiet Man, long ago. John Wayne, Barry Fitzgerald, I believe. Those are the lights that will be used for the production that is yet to come.
And those are the hunting pigs, which people who hunt the fox or hunt the drag wear when they're actually hunting in the field.
Oh,
Same
this
thing they wear.
Down where I come from in Moncton, Maryland, we virtually wear them out for fun, you know, on weekdays. Not I. Never figured out why they call them pinks when they're very, very red.
Les États-Unis.
Winner of the gold medal, representing the United States, Olympic champion Joe Fargo.
The American flag, and here come the athletes. Together, carrying the American flag, Jeff Blatnick, the man in Greco-Roman wrestling who overcame cancer to be here and then won the gold medal. You remember his justly emotional reaction afterwards. The American athletes will begin a tour of several cities tomorrow. They're going to be flown around the country. The ticker tape parade up Broadway on Wednesday in New York. But they'll be flying into Washington, flying into Dulles Airport tomorrow evening. And they're going to go to Congress on Tuesday.
All right, they're going to finish up in Dallas on Saturday on the eve of the Republican convention.
That's right. Also going to go to Disney World on their way.
This is what it is all meant to be about.
Yep. More nations than there are in the United Nations.
But 21 team captains, by the way, from the U.S. delegation selected Jeff Blatnick to carry this flag.
American girl and a man in one of the white robes of an African nation there, holding hands high together.
There she is.
Yep, Mary Lou.
She even got her Corvette. The first American to win a gold medal in gymnastics, including the gold in the women's all-round competition.
The traditional queen of world gymnastics is the winner of the all-around. That's what she did. Pretty proud down in Fairmont, West Virginia right now. Who do we have here? I can't... Sure.
Tracy. From
John
Ireland.
Tracy, yep. There's Jeff Platnick, 27 years old. Gave the gold to his father to hold after he got it. I remember the father's hands trembling as he did. And he put it around Jeff's neck again and hugged him. And soon, more of the ceremonies will proceed. We're going to have a word from our local stations first.
I'm Peter Jennings for ABC's World News Tonight. On Monday, 4 young men who deserve...
It's going to take a few more minutes for the athletes to march in. 6,000 of them out of the 7,800 or so who were here originally are still left in town. We've seen a great many wonderful moments and moving moments in the Winter Olympics and now in the Summer Olympics this year. Why don't we take a couple of minutes to review them, to recall the moments that were.
welcome back to this grand old lady of a Coliseum. Built 61 years ago, now filling up with athletes from all over the world. These athletes marched together because back in 1956, the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, adopted a suggestion from a 17-year-old Chinese boy to let the athletes march together as a symbol of world unity. Daley Thompson.
Daley Thompson.
King of the athletes.
Yep. Idol of Britain this weekend, you can be sure.
Thanks, LA, it says. See you in Seoul.
Very personable man. And he says he'll be back in '88.
If that's the sign, I guess he intends to be. He missed
Rowdy
the world
Gaines.
record.
Excuse me, Peter, but Rowdy Gaines in the middle there. Missed his chance in 1980, stayed in training for 4 more years, was the oldest man in the United States swimming team, and when he won that gold, he let everybody know how happy he was. All this and the ceremony itself hasn't really started yet, technically. Coming up.
You know, Jim, you asked a little earlier about impressions. Because so many American athletes, because the American athletes didn't go to Moscow and they've committed to the 8 years, they're older, better developed, wiser, and it says something in some respects about the training programs in this country, because after college up until now, you didn't get much help beyond. And this 8 years, I hope, will show some people that continuing to support athletes on beyond college level is going to make them the kind of world class we've seen.
Agreed. Donna DeVerona is down there with the young man we spoke of earlier who carried the flag in tonight, Jeff Blatnick. All right, Donna.
Jeff, it's been so exciting. Put this in perspective for it. What does this moment mean to you with all the athletes walking in together?
This is really great. I didn't at all mind that the athletes just came pouring in the way they did. It was absolute mayhem back there. Everybody's really, really happy. After 1980 for me, this is just one joyous occasion.
Most people, and we do have to do this, we focus in on the gold medals and the silver medals and the drama behind the scenes. For you, what was the most important drama during these games?
Oh, I tell you, just getting that second chance and being able to pull through. We've never had a medal, and we had 4. Steve Fraser, myself, Greg Gibson, and Jim Martinez. And we're part of a record-setting team, and I'm really glad to be part of it. Wrestling's coming a long way.
What do you think this Olympic showcase has done for wrestling? It's a sport that usually doesn't get that much exposure.
Well, we've gotten some media, and we've gotten some winners, and I sure hope now we get some more athletes into it. It's nothing to be afraid of. Greco's really, really good, and it's given me everything in my life, and I'm psyched.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Now back to you, Tim McKay.
Jeff Blatnick, the young man who overcame cancer to be in these Olympics, not only to be here, but to win a gold medal. The people sometimes look snidely at you when you say the Olympics can be an inspiration. They simply can, and in so many ways.
Jürgen Hinkson, who had the great competition with Daley Thompson of Great Britain for the decathlon, and who is as popular in his own country as Daley Thompson is in Great Britain.
Now Donna with another great world-class athlete, Edwin Moses.
Edwin just came off the field to talk to us. It's only appropriate, Edwin, that since you opened the game, so you were the official athlete to do that, chosen by the International Olympic Committee, that you should give us a closing comment about this moment.
It's great right now. Everyone is trading uniforms and hats and pins, and I just feel like a citizen of the universe right now.
And what's the future for, you feel, the Olympic movement in this country and worldwide?
Well, we'd like to get more support for the athletes between the Olympic Games. The corporations have been doing us just a marvelous deed to help us out between the games, and we're looking forward to the same in '88 and hopefully more gold in '88.
And where did you get this?
I got this one from a gentleman from Morocco. Thank you.
Thank you.
What he didn't tell you is he also got his jacket as well. That was a jacket from the Moroccan team as well. The fez, or tarbouche, as that hat is called.
Morocco had only won 1 medal in the history of the Olympics until this time, and this time they won 2 gold medals. Edwin Moses, I think, expressed the feeling down there very well. Donna's really moving around. She has Cheryl Miller from the basketball team now.
That's right. The athletes are making their second round around the track. I see Mary Lou Retton here, but here's a gold medalist, the first ever for the United States in women's basketball. Why do you think you played so well? I know all 12 of you were on women's scholarships, but what was that magic?
I think just being in Los Angeles, it's in the United States, and we wanted to show the people that women can play as well as men.
And where are you going next, Cheryl?
I have 2 more years at USC and hopefully 2 national titles and maybe the '88 Olympics. We'll have to see.
It's got to be something to be playing in your hometown, walking into this Coliseum. I'm sure you go to a lot of the football games. Congratulations. Back to you, Jim.
All right, Donna, thank you very much. You know, I know it's about 10 minutes to midnight back east, but I think I can say this. If you go to bed now, somebody's going to be telling you tomorrow what's going to happen from here on, what happened when they stayed up, and you'll be sorry. This thing is just beginning. The ceremony itself will be underway. There's going to be entertainment. I think we can reveal there are going to be fireworks, fabulous fireworks.
I know one 4.5-year-old is still up, Jim.
There you get the wide shot of how the field has filled up with these athletes. Great stage in the middle awaiting the entertainment. And now Donna's down there with Jürgen Hingsen.
This is an international arena, and we must have athletes from other countries. I have with me Jürgen Hingsen, the world record holder in the decathlon. Jürgen, it's all over. You did win the silver, and it was a very competitive event. What about this moment here? What about these Olympics? How do you feel?
I feel really great. I mean, it's been a spectacular moment for me. It's the first Olympic Games. 1980 I couldn't go, and so I'm really pleased with the crowd. It's the best publicum in the world that I've seen so far. The best games, and organization was perfect, and it's just, what can I say? It's a beautiful moment for me.
Thank you, Jürgen.
Donna, it's as good a time as any to pick up on what Jürgen said. Juan Antonio Samaran gave these games a 10, and it gives us a chance to say, not I hope for the last time, that there were 50, 70,000 volunteers who helped the Los Angeles Olympic Committee, and I think everybody who's come here from overseas that I've managed to talk to this weekend feels, as people I gather have throughout the 2 weeks, that without the volunteers, these games would have not been what they are. So to all of them, a salute. They have been absolutely extraordinary. They have worked without, obviously, as volunteers, without any funds or any fees, and they have had the most glorious time. The flag of Australia, the Great Southern Cross.
Terry Schroeder of the United States. He's the man who posed for the huge statue, remember, Peter, outside the Coliseum. You know, a lot of people asked me before I came here, will these be the last Olympics? I think we have the answer now.
It's interesting that I think 5 countries, Jim, have already applied for the Summer Games in 1992, or want it very badly anyway.
And the word is that perhaps 1996 will be Athens, the 100th anniversary of the Olympic Games, and the Chinese have indicated interest in the year 2000. So I think the Olympics are assured for a while. The faces of the world. The citizens of America. Athletes don't seem to want to let this moment go.
And there is absolutely no reason why they should, as various small groups break away and run their flags around the stadium.
Things are beginning to quiet down just a little bit. Peter, you mentioned the volunteers, the many of them. Donna's with one of them right now.
That's right. There's about 40,000 volunteers, and Pauline Green has been picked as the representative to speak for him. Pauline, tell me about why you decided to volunteer, and what has it meant this last few months?
Well, I'm a teacher, and I've been teaching about the Olympics for the last 2 years, and I thought I had to be part of history and be a part of it.
As a teacher, what has this Olympics brought to your school? You have Roosevelt Elementary School 6th grade teacher. What has the Olympics meant to these kids?
Well, we have our own little mini Olympics, and they enjoy getting the excitement of being an athlete.
And how about you?
I love it. I'm very competitive, and I love the competitive spirit.
Okay, thank you, June.
And there, the flag of Greece, the flags of many nations being run around informally by
Would
some
the
of their
athletes
athletes.
please return to the center of the field? Please return to the infield.
That sounds like school days. Will you please get back in the classroom?
I wish him luck.
We'll
Would the
be back,
athletes
we
please
promise.
Leave the track and return to...
Here she comes. Little Bonnie is coming home.
Firstborn child, it's a new time for you. There's a stranger in the house today.
You want to say hi to your baby sister?
So what's all the fuss? Why she's so special to us? Are you wondering how long she'll stay?
Beautiful blue eyes.
Do you think that we'd forget you? Are you fearing the worst? Do you think we don't remember?
I have blue eyes first.
It's a good time for the great taste
You free for lunch?
of McDonald's. It's a good time for talking it over cheeseburgers, man to man.
Somebody's gonna have to show her the ropes. Someone who's been around the block a few times.
Taking time to understand.
Think Bonnie might like me, Dad?
Sooner or later.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Aspirin was introduced in 1899, Tylenol in 1955. Today, there's Advil, a major development in non-prescription pain relief. Advil contains a non-prescription strength of ibuprofen, the medicine found in the prescription brand Motrin. Doctors have written over 130 million prescriptions for ibuprofen. Now it's in Advil, in non-prescription strength. If you're allergic to aspirin, consult your doctor before taking Advil. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Marine Sergeant Greg Gibson, he won a silver medal in wrestling. We're going to hear the anthems of Greece, the United States, and Korea, the host for the next Olympics.
This is Greece, Ethnikos Hymnos. The short version of Ethnikos Hymnos. It's actually the longest national anthem in the world. It has 158 stanzas if you sang or played the whole thing.
the wrestlers. And speaking of individual human achievements, we're now going to show you the names of the people who have worked with us here. Rune Arledge at the controls, in the control room, guiding me through it all the time and controlling the entire operation by hand. Chet Forty did the late night show. Chuck Howard was at the opening in the track and field. Dennis Lewin did all the daytime. Had to get up at 4 a.m., I think. Jeff Ruey was a tower of strength. Roger Goodman, what do you say about him? Roger
talent.
Did it all. Our director in the control room. The designer of our whole production. Carol Letty as in Sarajevo. Marvelous. Peter Diamond drawing together all the elements. Marvin Bader, Mr. Olympics, really, as far as ABC is concerned. It's his job, 24 hours a day, all year. All the venue producers and directors. These are the men we work with every week through the year, too, in all ABC sports events. And some who have come here from foreign lands
On
to help us
behalf
out.
of the producer and director of the opening and closing ceremonies, David L. Wolper and Tommy Walker, the entire ceremony staff, and your announcer, Charles Corson, we thank the athletes, the audience, and the visitors to our city for a most exciting 16-day Olympiad.
These people put together pieces in the tape room. Some work long, long hours. Graphics, all the visual things you see over the event. Assistants to the producer now. We used to call them PAs. They're the young people, many of them with their first job in network television, and many of them on their way up. Bryce Wiseman with all the up-close and personals. Aaron Smith came over from News to be on this show. If you wonder what it takes to put on one of these, just realize that every one of those names you see go by didn't have a little thing to do. They all had a lot to do, long hours every day. Maria Pagano did a marvelous job when she suddenly pulled up for us the other night, The Imposter in Munich, and Jim Ryan falling down. That's where that came from. Ah, our research staff. They were tough. They were good. Nancy and Jackie and Regina. They held us all together. Julie Barnathan, leader of the engineering miracle that again has been worked here. The biggest ever, by far. The athletes did here, I think, consider themselves at home by the time the 16 days of competition were over.
Would you please leave the stage, please? It is very dangerous for that many people to be on the stage. Would you please exit the stage? Thank you. Please, would everyone leave the stage? Choir, please leave the stage. Would the choir please leave the stage?
Hey, look me over, lend me.
Music stops in the stadium.
Please do not go on the stage.
People were getting up on the stage where it was dangerous. I think that's why they stopped the music. Thanks for the lighting, gentlemen. It helped. Dick Rose rose to new heights this time, I think. The mighty console of audio, along with his colleagues.
Would the choir please exit the stage? Choir, please off the stage. Once again, good night, thank you, and have a wonderful trip home.
We will be back tomorrow night, remember, with our final look, our final memory book, you might call it, of the games of Los Angeles at 10 o'clock Eastern and Pacific time. So a lot of these people can't relax yet. We have one more show to go, guys.
do believe there are more. Look at that. Behind it, being bounced on the flag of Australia. Still having fun in LA. They don't want to go home. Even though the music has stopped, they've been asked to leave the stage. It says, "Hi, Mom, I'm there," behind the names this time. Well, there you are. I don't know how many names there are in all. They've all been here, as I said. They've all worked. There's a lot for them to do. Get them the two. They're entitled. Behind there. Dutch flag being waved behind there. They had their moments too at the Olympics. Thank you, makeup. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mirage programmer? I'll have to meet him. I don't know what that is. Thought everything was real. So these were the people, some of the organizations that made the Olympics of Los Angeles from our point of view. From Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, speaking also for Peter Jennings, this is Jim McKay saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow night.
The games of the 23rd Olympiad have been brought to you by Chevrolet, with the performance, the style, the innovation, the quality, and the value that make up today's Chevrolet. Lotus, makers of 1, 2, 3 and Symphony software. And General Electric. At GE, we bring good things to life. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines, the official airline of the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games and proud sponsor of the United States Olympic team. In 1988, Calgary, the Olympic tradition continues.
Olympic gold medalists take on the challenge of the U.S. long course swimming.